I don't know, was my mic up
It
for
was
that?
not.
Okay, the launch date is expected this November.
Right, morning rounds, and Dr. Alex Harrison is here with more heart-related information for us. And I think, once again, former Vice President Dick Cheney is giving you a topic, right?
Right? Yeah, I think back in February, Randall was asking me after Dick Cheney had his 5th heart attack, you asked me, is it just irreversible damage at that point in time? And I had said, you know, it's hard to know how large of the heart attacks each one had been and how much heart muscle damage he had suffered. But we knew that he had had a very weakened heart because he had the special pacemaker called a defibrillator put in, which is warranted for people who have very weakened heart muscles and are at risk of sudden cardiac arrest. Well, it became apparent that after his recent heart attack, his heart pumping function was compromised so that he was suffering from congestive heart failure. And it was determined that he was no longer able to be managed with medicines to live a quality life. And
so he needed a little something extra.
Right, and so he got a device called a left ventricular assist device, or often referred to as LVAD, as the initials indicate. And what that is it's a pumping device. We have a graphic to demonstrate exactly what it is. But it's a pump that's implanted into the left ventricle, which is the pumping chamber of the heart that circulates the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the body. And when that has been damaged and doesn't pump as efficiently as it should, oftentimes the blood can back up into the lungs and you can have trouble breathing, trouble doing normal activities. And so a left ventricular assist device is an actual pump that siphons blood away from the left ventricle and then pumps it into the aorta. So it just augments the pumping function of the left ventricle.
Are those battery packs that are hanging on the side?
Yes.
And so this is not a small device.
It almost looks like a backpack sort of a thing, and that's an external part of this operation.
Correct. The pump is surgically implanted within the chest, and then that wire comes actually out through the abdomen to the outside into this device that's around the waist there that can then control it, and then you have these 2 battery packs that you wear along the side. And these devices have been around for many years, and generally this was the first original design here, where it was a cylindrical device, and they were indicated for patients that had severely damaged heart muscles for a variety of reasons and were awaiting heart transplantation. And because of the scarcity of hearts available for transplant, the left ventricular assist device was used as a bridge to transplant. Patients often who needed these had a life expectancy of around 3 to 4 months, and one of these devices could potentially, without a transplant, push that life expectancy out to almost a year. And so you give them a much greater chance of qualifying for a heart being available for transplant.
And today's devices are used in place of a transplant?
Well, the latest device is the first one to be approved for what's called destination device, where it's not a bridge to transplant. It's actually can be used for somebody who isn't eligible for a transplant but has a heart that's failing and potentially could be salvaged or get several more years of quality life with one of these devices. I mean, it's a major operation. They're not free of risk. The older devices used to be require that you be on anticoagulation because of the risk of clotting and strokes and things. And the heart pumps with you have a systolic and diastolic blood pressure. It has a pulsatile flow. And so that was always the design of these pumps, was the thought that the organs needed pulsatile flow.
What does pulsatile mean?
Just like the heart pumps.
Like a pulsing?
It pulses.
Not just a steady flow.
And so the pump was simulating the heart in that manner. The most recent devices are actually continuous cylindrical pumps.
Does that make them operate better?
And so they operate better with fewer complications, less, you don't need the anticoagulation, less risk of clotting and complications, and studies have shown that the body does just fine with that continuous, it's called a continuous flow pump.
Right.
And so Dick Cheney had one put in a few weeks ago, and from everything I've read, it sounds like he is unsure whether he's going to pursue transplant or just continue on with this device as a destination therapy.
Is there any estimate on life expectancy with the latest model?
I think it's still preliminary because few people have had them. Right, and so nobody really knows. But there have been definitely people that have lived several years with them and are still alive and well.
All right. Yes.
Interesting information.
It's Dr. Harrison every other Wednesday?
Every other Wednesday.
Yes. Yeah. And so if you ever have a heart health question, you can send it to morningrounds at KCOY.com. We'll save it and then address it when Dr. Harrison is here the next time.
So you can send those in at any time.
Thank you.